Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So the University of Nevada, Reno is in the spotlight after women are coming forward and shedding more light into how they were treated during the whole SJSU controversy, where multiple schools boycotted competing against the school that had a male player on the roster. Horrible moments exposed for UNR volleyball players when they were roped into the SJSU Title IX scandal. Now remember, the University of Nevada, Reno first issued a statement saying that they intend to compete against SJSU despite other schools boycotting. Their statement said that they were going to go ahead and play against this team. But the girls came forward with their own statement saying that they didn't want to play. And they mentioned the importance of fairness in women's sports. And that was the first time any hint of the reason for the boycott was down on paper, was released officially. The school committed them to a game they didn't want to play. They too wanted to boycott, and that's exactly what they did. The girls took the matter into their own hands, and they were highly commended for that. It was very brave of them. They're now coming forward, giving more details. For example, when it came to like a huge meeting that took place, they didn't even have a Title IX representative with them in that meeting. There was a lot of intimidation. There was a lot of trying to persuade them not to boycott, to just go along with what the school wanted them to do. So April Cheney has come forward. She is the mother of a UNR player who was playing at the time. She's come forward, shedding more light on what happened on October 7, 2024. To think this has been going on for a couple of years now. UNR administrators sat down its women's volleyball players in a meeting. The purpose was to inform the players that the team would not be forfeiting an upcoming home match against SJSU. At the time, 4 other schools had already forfeited to the Spartans amid a national controversy involving trans player Blair Fleming. So the girls did come forward and say that they didn't want to play. But the school said that that's not our position, and they issued their statement committing these girls to competing against a team with a male. UNR did not have a Title IX officer at the meeting, according to an October 12, 2024 email sent by the school's athletics director, Stephanie Rempe. Our Title IX officer was not present, read Rempe's email in response to an inquiry by UNR Chancellor Charlton. Sia Li'i, she was the captain of the volleyball team at the time. She said it was a horrible experience. She was one of the girls at the forefront of encouraging the girls to stand up for their sports and not go along with this. Yeah, I just gonna have to delete all that. She said it took place after the school decided to make a choice for us, and it was uncomfortable. They told us there was no advantage by Blair because she was on estrogen and testosterone blockers in order to level the playing field. A bunch of the girls and I expressed not wanting to play for the reasons of safety, fairness, and an opportunity for women in sports being taken away by a male athlete. Instead of supporting this decision, we were told that maybe we should think about all the facts first, in case we wanted to reconsider. It was very concerning that this meeting had no Title IX officer, and we were given a bunch of facts that were not backed in truth. One of their so-called facts is to assert that this person is a woman, when this person is male, playing on a women's volleyball team. April Cheney said as a mother, she was traumatized. So she filed a Title IX complaint to the Education Department's Office of Civil Rights. I just couldn't believe it, Cheney told Fox News Digital. And let's take a look at the video of her explaining what went down.
For someone like Sia Li'i, like Nicanora Clark, the other UNR volleyball players that I had the privilege of getting to know over the course of that traumatic season at UNR. I know that this is a long time coming for them to just get more visibility on the situation, the impact on their lives that playing against an opponent who has a women's scholarship but is a male player has had on their team, their entire campus, on their lives. So the fact that the administration and the secretary of education are stepping in to give them more of a voice and offer them some accountability, a way for them to hold their university accountable, that is really powerful. And so I celebrate the Department of Education stepping in, getting involved, understanding what they've been through. There was sweeping intimidation for the girls on UNR's volleyball team to stand down on their decision not to play San Jose State University.
I remember all the other schools supported their female athletes in their decision. They didn't go into detail that it was because of a transgender or male player, but they said that we stand with these girls in their decision. And UNR was the only school where they didn't get that support. There wasn't that public acknowledgement that we support our female players. I remember one match, Tulsi Gabbard showed up along with other politicians, local politicians, and that must have been a huge boost for them because somebody had to give the girls this message that we support your decision, that you are doing the right thing, and we stand by you, because the school certainly didn't.
There were multiple different tactics, from emotional blackmail, but when somebody in the position of authority threatens you with, various consequences for you standing up for your rights, that's a really serious thing. And I know Secretary McMahon and the Trump administration absolutely do not want that to continue to happen in our university system anymore. And so by acting upon these investigations and following through with accountability to these institutions, I think it will make it very clear that such behavior just cannot be acceptable moving forward.
So this university, similar to SJSU, is now under investigation. SJSU has been found to be in violation of Title IX. That was announced last week. And UNR is now under investigation for the same thing, for its handling of a scheduled match against SJSU in 2024. Fox News Digital has obtained exclusive details related to UNR's handling of the situation. And April Cheney, she's given testimony, so I commend her for coming forward with her testimony as well, which is going to help this investigation. No school has any business intimidating female athletes who simply don't want to play against a man. Now, obviously, this was in 2024. This was before the Trump administration restored Title IX to what it should be, because we know the previous administration tried to alter it. They didn't get as far as to alter it for women's sports. But these schools were basically acting on the basis of, the idea that they'll be protected, because from the top down, nobody was looking out for female athletes. It was all about the men who identify as women. Marshy Smith of Icons has supported these girls as well. They reached out to her. She said there was sweeping intimidation for the girls on UNR's volleyball team to stand down on their decision not to play San Jose State University. There were multiple different tactics, from emotional blackmail to even insinuation that legal disputes could be brought. It was clear to them exactly what that meant. For when someone in a position of authority threatens you with various consequences for you standing up for your rights, that's a really serious thing.
Here's the response, by the way. We have a statement from the University of Nevada. They said, the university and its athletic programs are governed by the Nevada Constitution and Nevada law, which strictly protect equality of rights under the law. The university intends to move forward with the match as scheduled. So they're saying the match will go forward as scheduled, but you're here telling us today the players will not play in that match.
No, we will not.
And UNR responded with the following. University administrators met with the Nevada's volleyball team and discussed scenarios of what could happen if they chose not to play. One of the scenarios that was discussed revolved around possible legal issues for violating the Nevada Constitution. The state's constitution was revised in 2022 when Democratic lawmakers voted to adopt the Equal Rights Amendment, which added gender identity to its list of diversity classifications that are protected under state law. And we think that's why a lot of the universities never said why the girls were boycotting. They just said that they support the girls. They never went into the details of why they were boycotting. And that's for legal reasons. Because yes, a lot of these schools are in states where gender identity is recognized. During correspondence about media requests and interview, UNR Assistant AD of Strategic Communications, Aaron Harez, told Rempe he had a concern about the players meeting with conservative influencer Riley Gaines and Idaho lawmakers for photo ops. They were concerned that these players would be photographed with Riley Gaines and conservatives in general. It said, "My main concern isn't with media talking to Shannon. It is Idaho legislators and other types, i.e. the Idaho Freedom Foundation, connecting with, redacted, and any of our players, or the players connecting with them for photo ops and such, or that our team sports these shirts from Riley Gaines." And yes, the team did go on to attend rallies, wearing shirts that says protect women's sports, boycott, XX. Yeah, that's exactly what they went on to do, and rightfully so. And remember, this was, an election year. There was a lot riding on this whole debate. And the university did say that the players were free to boycott if they wanted to without consequences. But clearly behind the scenes, they were dealing with consequences.
You intend to forfeit the match against San Jose State. Tell us why.
Yes, we just want our rights to be upheld on the court, and we believe that women deserve fair opportunity, and it's just not right.
Many people have made this point. And by the way, San Jose State has an outside attacker, outside hitter, who is a biological male. And several teams have forfeited matches against San Jose State now. See, there have been people that have made the point, this is the only thing you can do. Refuse to participate if this is going to be the case. Was that the feeling inside the team there at Nevada?
Yes, we met together as a team, and the vast majority of us voted that we didn't feel safe and we didn't think that it was right if we participated in that match.
And the match that the school tried to commit them to play ended up not going ahead because they didn't have enough players. And then the school released a statement saying that the match has been cancelled, which is something that they could have done to begin with, rather than committing the girls to something that they didn't want to do. Speaking of the forfeits, April Cheney said, "For them to get punished like that, it's infuriating because they shouldn't have had to take a forfeit. They shouldn't have taken a loss because it's reflected in their standings. These young female adults, they are being bullied." Meanwhile, Sia Li'ili'i, she is playing pro volleyball now, outside of the country. She said, "My pro volleyball career has been fun. I just wrapped up a season in Kosovo and I will be moving to play in Germany for 2026. My involvement hasn't impeded anything, but I have been asked about the situation and why I feel so strongly about the issue. I have learned the issue has a lot of support from females from other countries." So I'm so glad to hear that she is playing pro now, that her career has gone to a new level, and boycotting and standing up for women's sports didn't ruin her volleyball career. It sounds like she's going from strength to strength. So I wish Sia all the best and all the other young female athletes who came forward and stood up, to maintain the integrity of women's sports. It is highly commendable, especially under that sort of intimidation, especially up against the powers that be, the adults in authority who should have supported them. And thankfully, Nevada's state governor wants to prevent a similar situation occurring in the future. He's seeking to amend the Nevada Constitution. in order to make this possible. And UNR provided a statement to Fox News Digital. They said the university has received correspondence from the US Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights and has responded appropriately through the proper legal and administrative channels. It says that they're committed to fostering an inclusive, supportive, and respectful campus environment. As stated in the university statement from October 2024, the administration communicated that the university supported the players' rights to choose not to participate, and that any member of the women's Wolfpack volleyball team that opted out of participating in the match could do so without consequence and would not be subjected to any team disciplinary action. Our focus remains on ensuring that every student has the opportunity to pursue their educational and professional goals in a safe and welcoming environment, blah, blah, blah. But they also failed to mention that the girls were told that they need to know the facts, that they need to educate themselves. The girls were told that there may be consequences, legal consequences. I know the university obviously is following state law, but they still could have supported the girls by simply cancelling the match and just announcing what they went on to announce anyway, that the match is cancelled. That's all they had to do. Like the other schools, they didn't have to go into detail. And instead, they released a statement committing the girls to the match. So we shall see what comes out of this investigation. More likely it will be similar to SJSU. This is very similar to what happened at San Jose, with the administration bullying the players speaking out. So let's hope for accountability so that this doesn't continue to happen to the new female players who simply want to play volleyball in a fair and safe environment. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Hype if you can. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.